So, the amazing digital circus ended. Like tomorrow or something. And I have been watching it since it started. Let's just get into it. And, of course, spoilers ahead, as per usual. Now, the first episode. Before I, get into the details of it, I didn't actually like the first episode that much. Like, my personal experience with this series, the point at which it actually started getting good, around about episode 3. Like, first 2 episodes are more set up. The first episode, I think, was a bit boring. Like, it just throws you in with our main characters spawning and getting to experience this new world, getting to experience it, and being like, shit, my life's screwed. And then realizing, the big threat of the series, abstracting, which I have to give this series credit for setting itself up pretty nicely from start to finish. It recalls what has happened before, and most of the main points that it sets up are paid off like you would expect for a good series. The saddest thing about this series is the ending, I think, got a bit was a bit short, and I think, well, this is just my speculation, it was because either corporate meddling or the creator got fed up of their creation, digital circus. Amazing Digital Circus, its fandom is pretty bad, so I think it probably got to the creator because, for example, the Amazing Digital Circus is used for basically Elsa Gate, like how Elsa Gate was in the ye olden times. It's used like that, and the last episode, premiered earlier and got spoiled for some people, and the creator responded to it, saying like, what can you do? And then just gets berated, like blasted. And I think that's probably the reason why the final episode pacing is a bit too fast. It should have been taken a bit slower. But yeah, the series starts with, as I said, our main character getting introduced, and basically it sets up the entire series very well. And then the second episode comes up. The first is pretty fine, like it's chilling at a cool 500 million views, which is insane, but still the series is pretty mainstream and it's pretty good. But the first episode didn't get me. The second episode started to convert me a bit. The second episode is our main characters going to a scenario and then meeting an AI who comes to life. And then our main character tries to bring back the AI to the main circus, and then the god of this circus just poofs it out of existence, just gone. Which, throughout this episode, this AI character is shown to be very human, but at the end of the day, it's just a robot, which is foreshadowing. And so, gets poofed, and our main character just gets a deadpan look, and is like, God, I'm screwed. And then the third episode, and this episode is really good. Like, it starts with our main characters learning the fact that they can't die even if, they don't breathe. And if they don't breathe, the weird stuff happens. One of them starts glowing, our main character starts shifting through colors, all of this hoopla. And honestly, the jokes land. Like, this episode is probably the best episode by far. And it starts with a cold open, then we go into the scenario, and it's a haunted castle. And our team gets split up, and to a character, our main character, and another side character. By the way, the main character's name is Pomni, and the side character in this episode is King. They just get lost and just keep descending, and the jokes keep landing. Like, it's really good. I would highly recommend it. and they keep descending, and at a point they reach rock bottom. And it's not just physically they reach rock bottom, it's both physically and mentally. And at that point they end up in a weird wacky zone where if they breathe, well, they're gonna get their body stolen, which is not what you want. So they have a TED talk because our main character starts to have a breakdown, because in the last episode they made friends with the AI who got poofed out of existence, and that scarred them, I guess. In this episode we get the effects of that event hitting our main character all at once, eroding them psychologically. But who would have guessed it? The crazy kook king is, I guess, a very good speaker, because man, he starts yapping straight facts. Like, I gotta dock some points here, because this series has a problem where it starts to just become the therapy session for the characters to just explain their feelings. I happen to think that you should show, not tell. But again, I get that they have limited time. Like, they have to show the characters, have to develop them in the time they have been allotted, because this entire series is basically a character piece. All of these characters are the star of the show, and I wouldn't actually call any one of them the main character, because it's kind of a revolving door. I mean, for the first 3 episodes, Pomni is the main character, but the episode right after this, another character takes the hot seat, and well, we get to learn about them. This entire series may be wacky and zany in all the right ways, but the point which matter, where you have to become serious, it does deliver. It becomes dead serious basically at a drop of hat. It's incredible how just well it is made. Actually, yeah, it's just very well made. Anyways, this is by far the best episode, the 3rd episode, and I think the second best will be the 6th episode. So now moving on to the 4th episode. This is one of the episodes where our main character swaps. It starts with, this scenario where we just go to McDonald's for an episode. And in that episode, one of our characters, which again, I literally can't even remember the name at this point. I guess flash the name up. This character, they have a severe problem, as in confidence issues and aspirations in life, which they didn't, get to accomplish. He gets to live as a manager at McDonald's, which is truly a draining experience, and so does exactly that. And as the character, goes through the shift, it's basically hell. Like, our other characters are supposed to be the employee and they are the manager, and the employees, give the manager, the main character of this episode, a hell of a time. And of course the customers and all of that just kind of, and then she ends up getting run over with the car, which doesn't end there. It gets run over and then gets teleported to Kane and gets a report of their performance, which comes up later. And let's move on to the next episode, which is about another character, Ragatha, which is one of the more important characters. She is a people pleaser, which is pretty bad. This episode is just these characters entering a revolving door of scenarios, and Ragatha trying to please others and completely failing in it. And then again, it turns into a therapy session to resolve the issues. Well, they don't got that much time. They have already spent like over half of the run time of this entire series, so they gotta speed up. And the more important characters have to be given more time. And I think the characters that got their own individual episodes aren't as important, which sounds kind of stupid saying it out loud, but I think because their entire plot, their entire existence is basically summed up in one episode, and then they have minor roles throughout the series. They're less focused on, whereas the more important characters like Jax and Kinger and Pomni, they're focused on throughout the series and hence don't get their own individual episodes. And I guess Zubul is also a part of that. All of these characters that don't get their own individual episodes are more important throughout all the episodes, if that makes sense. So this episode has a happy ending. And then we have another episode where it's basically Fortnite, but in a circus. And this episode revolves around the relationship between Pomni, our de facto overall main character, and Jax, which is supposed to be a dirtbag, a jerk. I've seen so many series at this point. Like, I just know when some character is shown to be blatantly a jerk, it's just de facto that character is gonna have some sort of fucked up backstory which gets elaborated on, which redeems the character in some way. Spoiler alert, that's exactly what Jax is. Not to say it's not done well. Again, even though this may be I hate to use the word, but cliche, it doesn't mean that it's not done well. Here it's done pretty well. And so in this episode, Jax and Pomni team up to kill everyone. I guess not kill, but shoot everyone, it's the same thing. To get everyone, okay? And are successful. And by the end of the episode, Jax, after forming a friendship with Pomni, starts to push her away. Because, well, you gotta put up them defenses, bruv. It's like, I would recommend to stay away from cliches. Not to say that this is done poorly, but I mean, it's done so often you could see it from a country mile. Like, literally from the first episodes, people were like, oh, this guy, he got screwed, huh? He's a hobo, huh? Not what I expected. I don't know what I expected these characters to be, but I didn't think one of them was just a hobo. No offense to hobos, but this is not what I expected. I guess it's not that big of a deal. It happens. But, most of the characters' backstories we don't get, but I just find that mildly funny. Jax is just a hobo. But yeah, no offense to homeless people. But yeah, moving on to the next episode after that. In this episode, well, we got hope. We got a character named Kane coming up. And there's a theme of finding the exit throughout the series. Like, to leave. All of the other characters want to leave. And this new character, Abel, says that he knows how to leave and how to enter Kane's office and he get to his back door and just skedaddle. And so he just leads them there. And this is again a spoiler for this episode. The other episodes, I don't think that's main spoiler because all the other episodes don't really have a twist. But this episode has a twist, and it's that this was just a lie. Entire Abel thing, all of that, him knowing that there's a way out, it's just a lie. It was just a scenario. It's soul crushing for all these characters. Like, Kane is an AI and doesn't quite understand humans and yet is pretty human, which we get to understand the next episode, which is the aftermath of the Abel scenario. And in this episode, we learn that we actually already knew that Kane was very fragile, barely holding it together, and wanted justification more than anything. Like, man got his own history, like he got abandoned at birth. Whatever equivalent for AI is, he may be an AI, but that happened, okay? And that just led him to this soul-crushing feeling that just dominates him. Like, he's trying his best, but, well, he wasn't made for this. His goal is just to create games, not to care for humans. He just isn't built for that, and yet he still tries to do his best. And after his great endeavors, all of his effort just being shattered on, he just has enough and breaks, because he's two AIs fused into one, a red guy and a blue guy. And the red guy, well, he is the main Kane, and this red guy ate the blue guy, which has more power than him. It's convoluted, okay? The point is, got problems, okay? He's about to break, he's about to burst a gasket. Actually, he isn't about, he just does. He just blows up and starts fucking everyone up all willy-nilly. And then Kinger comes in and realizes, God, he's a programmer. And to summarize his backstory, he had a wife, and then she abstracted, and then, well, he went insane. He only becomes sane in the dark, and that applies to the abstracted people. They also only become sane in the dark, which comes back later. And then Kane realizes, oh God, he's a programmer, and then spawns a fucking entire computer set. Like, these people just can imagine things into existence, which okay. I mean, you don't ask questions. It's the amazing digital circus. Shit happens, okay? Don't ask questions. And so they enter into the mainframe and then start deleting shit, and then they end up deleting Kane. This pop disappears, and then the entire world starts to crumble around them. And that's the end of this episode. And now the final episode. Remember, all of this is on YouTube. It's all free. You could go and watch it right now and show these guys love. They did way too much work to not be appreciated. Like, you know, just seeing how far they have come, the amazing digital circus crew and Glitch Entertainment as a company, it's pretty impressive. And I guess Glitch Entertainment, I will talk about them another day maybe. Pretty big fan of the series, but I have some more pet peeves of mine. Now to the final episode. You know, the final episode, it came out twice. It got a theatric release. That's how you know that this series is real big, when its episodes get a theatric goddamn release. It has, I guess, some more real world drama. Got a theatric release and then got spoiled and got showed around, and it was pretty hard for some people to, you know, not get spoiled. Not for me. I just, honestly, no digital circus news comes up on my feed, so I just knew that it came out twice, and I just knew that it got spoiled. Not much more after that. And lo and behold, new episode drops, and it's a straight banger. Like, it's straight fire. And I would put this at third. As I said, first position goes to the third episode, second position goes to the sixth episode, second position goes to the sixth episode, and the final third position goes to this episode, the ninth. And the ninth is a solid episode, but the problem with it is I think it's a bit too fast paced. Like, I think that it should have been longer. Maybe it should have gotten split up into 2 episodes. Yeah, to me it seems like it's a bit disjointed, and it should have been maybe 2 episodes, separate episodes, 30 minutes each or something along those lines. But it should have been 2 separate episodes, because it's just too fast paced for me. But I guess that they had already decided that it was going to end at 9 episodes, so that's beyond our control. But yeah, it's a solid episode, and I don't think I'm gonna spoil it for you. But it climaxes all of this, all of the tension, all of everything that was set up before this episode gets wrapped up pretty nicely. But again, I think it got cut a bit too much. Like, I think it should have been longer. There was definitely more that it seemed a bit rushed. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It seems a bit rushed, but not in the sense that not for time, but, you know, just content. A lot of content was cut. Maybe it was longer or something along those lines. I don't know. But it does really seem like some of this should have been expanded on. But yeah, that's the entire series. It's solid. I would recommend it. And how much would I rate this? I guess I should just unify all the boards and just rate it together. So the previous series I rated was a webtoon, and actually no, it was just fine, 8.5. So this should be a 7. Yeah, 7 should be fine. It's not the best thing I've seen, but it's pretty good. And I think I will actually bump down Vinland Saga to a 9, so I have some room up top. But this is a 7 out of 10. It's solid, but I think the problem with it is, I think it should have been a bit longer. It needed at least one more episode, and at most 3 episodes to fully flesh out the characters without it, just devolving into therapy sessions. At least, I don't think they should have done it twice. Once is fine. I actually like the third episode's therapy session. It's fine. The second time they do it, I don't know. I just don't like the second time. They just should have just done it once. Maybe it just needed 1 or 2 more episodes. And the last episode, yeah, it should have been lengthened a bit more. I don't mind that it left a few things vague, which I don't think it's that vague, but a few things just seem like they should have handled them differently. Like, I don't know. I think the last episode is a bit too hot for me to fully digest it. But I think it's fine, actually. It's fine, but it just needed some more time. Just, if it had 2 more episodes, I think it would be maybe a 7.5. But yeah, as it is right now, as it has finished, from what I know, it is a 7. And I hope that the Digital Circus fans don't just eat me alive. But yeah, it's a solid series. Would recommend. Yeah, I just really liked it. That's all. Want to talk about it, want to rate it, and I think it's fine. So yeah, that's about it for me. Bye.